This story was so huge, so huge. I wondered last night, how many in the media are going to cover it? Well, we watched. Let's take a look here. Let's just take this story by the numbers. Since yesterday morning until about noon today, how many times did the mainstream media outlets cover the Acorn story? What a surprise! Coming in at number one, Fox. 19 times, at least 19 times. CNN. How many times? Whoa! Three. Wow. That's kind of like, America playing basketball at the Olympics. Sure, you got the bronze, but look how much you suck. How about MSNBC? How many times did they cover the Acorn scandal? 0. ABC? How many times did ABC cover it? 0. Well, that's what do you say? CBS? Oh, 0. NBC? How many times did they cover this story? New York Times? This is a good one, huh? You can get a Pulitzer Prize. 1. But you know what? Excuse me. You know what? They have an asterisk there. You know why they have an asterisk? Yeah. Give me the Washington Post, because they get an asterisk too. Yeah. How about the Wall Street Journal? They get an asterisk, although they have led the way a little bit on this one. The Times and the Post get an asterisk because they ran the article, one article, run by the Associated Press. They didn't even write it themselves, and they ran it online. And the Journal had John Fund, who has been following this story. They had an editorial, but that one was online. What was the reaction from Acorn? Ready? How many people at Acorn lost their job because of this, what do they call this? A hyped up story or some sort of a smear campaign? How many people did they fire over this false story? Oh, 2. Yeah, the 2 ladies we showed you 2 last night. They fired them last night. Wow, that's huge. 2 more Acorn employees that the Rathke brothers just throw underneath the bus. Let's take a look at some of these numbers. Number of fraudulent voter registrations Acorn admitted in the 2008 election cycle. How many of them? 400,000. Number of states where Acorn is under investigation. 14. Number of Acorn workers arrested for voter fraud. 50. Number of cases that resulted in guilty pleas. Amount of tax dollars, you're working hard every day, that Acorn has received since 1994. Okay, does that piss you off at all? Think maybe somebody should be covering this? Amount of federal tax dollars Acorn is eligible to receive in the stimulus package, $8.5 billion. Number of Republicans calling for investigations into Acorn. We found 67. Number of Democrats calling for investigations into Acorn. They're more pathetic than CNN was on the coverage. By the way, that's 2 if you count Arlen Specter, and he was still a Republican, so it's really actually 1. Can we try again? Actually, I shouldn't even say that. Number of Democrats, if I have 1, the number of Democrats calling for investigations into Acorn, but that 1 was John Conyers, but he called it off. So the number of Democrats asking, yes, there it is, 0. How is that possible? How about the number of investigations into Van Jones? No idea. Number of investigations into Cass Sunstein. Well, let's just push him through. Why not? Number of investigations into the National Endowment for the Arts. Remember, I told you this story, and they were using the National Endowment for the Arts to buy propaganda for the president. Yeah, I mean, the only one that I know that's been called for it is me and Andrew Breitbart. How about the number of people on the panel investigating? You ready for your heart just jump out of your chest? They announced this today. Number of people on the panel investigating the arrest of this guy. Remember he? Yeah, 12. This is the good friend of Barack Obama. The Cambridge police officer, you know, that hater? The city of Cambridge has selected 12 people, they announced today, from across the country to serve on an independent panel to assess the arrest, the outcome, the aftermath, and how better training could have prevented the incident. The mayor of Cambridge told the Washington Post, a story that they're actually still covering, that the panel members were picked because of their, quote, diverse professional backgrounds, with their experience with community relations and conflict resolution. You gotta be kidding me. Here's all I need to investigate that incident. Show this. This is from the White House. It's a White House photo. Here's President Obama going to the Rose Garden. Here's his very good friend that had a cane. Remember the whole story? Yeah, look who's hating. Oh my gosh, the white hater is helping him while he struts like a peacock. But let's go back to that Acorn investigation, shall we? House Judiciary Committee Chairman John Conyers had planned to investigate Acorn. Later, he told the Washington Times, quote, the powers that be decided against it. When the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee can't hold a hearing, let me ask you this. Can we have an investigation to find out who the powers that be are? I wish I had a panel of 12 people to investigate. Oh, very diverse panel, too. Judging by the last 24 hours or so, we are going to follow this Acorn. In fact, we've got new breaking news on it again today. But judging on the last 24 hours, we'll follow it, but it's going to be just Fox and you and me. But see, this is where I started. Don't worry. Don't worry. Because the paradigm is changing. That's it. That's the way it started with the czar thing, too. And look at the progress you have made. The Acorn story does continue. Tonight, a different city, a different Acorn office. But what could happen? Difference. The same old corruption, this time in our nation's capital. New tape next.